some more fun here on the main stage for you. There's a whole lot of people that meet day and night throughout the week. Actually, we just meet each once in the morning and another group at night. But we're called the Toastmasters. The group I'm with is called the Early Words Toastmasters, and we put on this crazy event called the Tall Tales Contest. It's an amazing amount of fun because we get the chance to invite our friends to come by and listen to us lie to each other. I mean, really, when you think about it, a tall tale is merely a fabrication of all the truths that you can ever think about. What we're going to have today is four wonderful performers, and then you're stuck with me as your MC. But I really want to thank you for being here and ask you that whenever it feels right, just laugh out loud, because that's what it's all about. I hope you've had a chance to look at all the vendors and see all the great booths that are around here today. One of the coolest things about this community, the most fun that I have here all the time, is the fact that we come together for events like this. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how Tall Tales really does start. You start with a piece of the truth, and then you generate the stretches of the truth that make it hilarious, or at least kind of funny. You may say to yourself, Toastmasters? Toastmasters, what a funny name for a group. Well, it is kind of an odd name. Back in the late 1920s, a guy named Ralph Smedley, so think about that one for a minute. Ralph Smedley thinks to himself, I need to find a way to help all business people become better communicators. He develops a program over the course of about 10 or 15 years and literally puts it into practice. Millions of people around the world have used the Toastmasters method to become better public speakers, better listeners, and better communicators. And that's what we hope you have a chance to see here today. But with this Tall Tale contest, we're going to take those skills that we learn in our Toastmasters meetings, and we're going to stretch them out a little bit. So this morning, what a beautiful morning, my son and I get up and we go ahead and head off down to the Kalama River. We're sitting on the banks of the Kalama, about 6 miles up the river. It's an absolutely beautiful morning. My son's got his fly rod, I've got my casting rod. We can see the fish in the river. They're everywhere. It is an amazing fishing morning. He snags one, pulls it up. It's a little bit small, we let him go. I cast out, I'm about 50 yards upstream from him, and I notice across the river on the other side, there's these 3 squirrels just running up and down the bank, just watching us, just hanging out. But every time we cast, they would run up to one of the spots where we were casting to. So I cast over towards one of them, and I get a hit. And I'm playing this fish, and I'm playing, and my goodness, I'm seeing that silver side breaking the water. Everybody knows that feeling. And I bring it in, I get it right up close to the bank, boom, slips the lure. Oh well, it was close. Now, while I'm pulling that one in, my son hooks one that is even bigger. He brings that fish right up, and on a fly pole, this is not as easy as it really sounds like, but he brings this thing right up close, gives it a little toss, bam, that guy lands right on the bank. 16 pounds of beautiful fish. Oh, it's gonna make a great dinner tonight, isn't it, son? All the while we're knocking these fish dead, these 3 squirrels are running up and down the bank on the other side of the river. And I'm thinking, I wonder what they're doing. Well, apparently what they're doing is scoping out where the real fish are. I cast one out, I land this fish, I start reeling it in, I'm pulling. I gave it that final yank, it flies out of the water. I know it's gonna land right behind me on the bank. This squirrel takes a flying leap. I swear to God, I have never seen a regular squirrel fly, but this thing came right up, grabbed the fish off of my pole, bam, down the river. Well, we think that we've got it taken care of because now